Did you know that only two people in the entire world know the secret recipe for Coca-Cola, and they're never allowed to travel together? That's right. Coca-Cola is one of the most secretive beverages on the planet. So how exactly is it made? And what's behind the magic of that iconic taste? Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the incredible process of how Coca-Cola is created, from its top secret syrup to the moment it hits your lips with that signature fizz. A global icon with mysterious origins, Coca-Cola is everywhere. It's the most recognized soft drink in the world, with over 1.9 billion servings consumed every single day. But its story began in a pretty humble place, a pharmacy. In 1886, John Stith Pemberton, a curious pharmacist from Atlanta, Georgia, set out to create something no one had ever tasted before. What he ended up with was a syrup made from a blend of botanical extracts and caramel coloring. But here's the twist. Pemberton wasn't trying to make a soft drink. He was actually working on a headache remedy. The original name for this concoction? Pemberton's French wine coca, a far cry from what we call it today, right? At first, it was served at soda fountains in local pharmacies, mixed with soda water, and people loved it. Little did anyone know this small, fizzy drink would go on to become one of the biggest brands in the world. The recipe no one can know. Okay, here's where things get really interesting. The secret formula for Coca-Cola, the recipe that gives it that distinct taste, has been locked away in a vault for decades. It's more than just a corporate secret. It's one of the most tightly guarded recipes on the planet. Legend has it that the recipe is stored in a high-security vault at the World of Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta, and only two people in the company know the formula at any given time. Get this, they aren't even allowed to fly on the same plane in case something happens to one of them. If one of these secret keepers leaves the company or, something more permanent happens, a new person is sworn in under strict confidentiality to keep the legacy alive. So while we can't tell you the exact formula, we do know that the core ingredients include carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, or sugar depending on where you are, caramel color, phosphoric acid, and a mysterious blend of natural flavors. And that's where the magic happens. The syrup factory, where it all begins. The making of Coca-Cola begins in Atlanta, Georgia, where the company produces its highly secretive syrup concentrate. That's right, this syrup isn't made all over the world. Every drop of Coca-Cola starts its journey from the syrup factory in Atlanta before being shipped to bottling partners across the globe. It's like Coca-Cola's version of liquid gold. Once the syrup reaches its destination, the magic really starts. The syrup is mixed with water that goes through some of the most advanced filtration processes in the world to ensure it's absolutely pure. Coca-Cola takes water quality incredibly seriously, and the water must be perfect before it's mixed with the secret syrup. Why Coca-Cola tastes different around the world. But here's something you might not know. Coca-Cola doesn't taste exactly the same everywhere. If you've ever traveled to different countries and tasted Coke, you might have noticed a slight difference. And that's no accident. Coca-Cola adjusts the sweetness level based on regional preferences. In some countries, the drink is made with sugar, while in others it's made with high fructose corn syrup. Depending on where you are, you might get a sweeter or less sweet version of the drink. This customization is all part of Coca-Cola's strategy to keep its fans happy, no matter where they are in the world. Fizzing it up, the carbonation process. Now onto that famous fizz. One of the things Coca-Cola is most famous for is its crisp, refreshing bubbles. But how do they get that perfect amount of carbonation into every bottle? It all comes down to a carefully controlled process. After the syrup and water are mixed together, the drink heads to a carbonation chamber where it's infused with carbon dioxide under high pressure. This is what creates the tiny bubbles that give Coca-Cola its refreshing bite. Interestingly, getting the carbonation just right is a delicate science. Too much, and the drink will fizz uncontrollably when opened. Too little, and it'll taste flat. Coca-Cola has perfected this balance over more than a century of production, so each can has that perfect amount of fizz every single time. The iconic bottling process. But what about getting the drink into those iconic bottles and cans? Coca-Cola's bottling process is an engineering marvel. High-speed machinery fills thousands of bottles and cans every minute, ensuring that each one has the exact same amount of liquid. And here's something fascinating. Each container is filled with just enough space left for that signature foam to form when you crack it open. And if you're a fan of Coca-Cola's glass bottles, you're in good company. The iconic glass bottle we know today has been in production since 1957 and hasn't changed much since. Why? Well, as Coca-Cola would say, you don't mess with perfection. Why bottles don't explode? Here's a question that stumps a lot of people. How do they fill all those bottles so quickly without causing them to explode from the fizz? It's all thanks to the state-of-the-art bottling equipment. The machinery is designed to minimize movement during the filling process, keeping the drink as stable as possible. Even at high speeds, Coca-Cola's bottling lines can process tens of thousands of bottles and cans a day without a single one going flat or over-fizzing. The final check. Before a single bottle or can leaves the factory, Coca-Cola runs a series of rigorous quality control checks. Every batch is tested to make sure the taste, carbonation, and safety meet the brand's high standards. From taste tests to microscopic inspections, nothing is left to chance. Coca-Cola is so serious about quality that it even has taste experts to ensure every sip is just right. A taste that stands the test of time. So the next time you take a sip of Coca-Cola, remember, it's not just a drink. It's a carefully crafted experience that's been perfected over more than a century. From its secret formula locked in a vault to the precise carbonation that gives it that famous fizz, Coca-Cola is much more than just a soft drink. It's a global icon that continues to captivate taste buds all over the world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning how Coca-Cola is made, hit that like button, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the making of your favorite products. Now go crack open a cold Coke and enjoy the taste of history.